Hi folks, Sheva here to help you help your loved ones through emotional distress or thoughts of suicide. Today I wanted to touch on something one of my participants brought up in a workshop once. This participant came up to me after the workshop and shared that one of her relatives had died by suicide, and prior to his death, he had seemed very upbeat, very happy, very put together, so much so that everybody thought his life was getting back on track after a period of time when he had felt quite depressed. And, when she reflects back on that, it seems like there were no signs. How could we have possibly known? And so I want to touch on that a little bit today. The thing about deciding to die by suicide is that in some of these cases, people feel that that decision relieves a lot of their stress once they've decided to do it. And then what happens is the next few days, or however long the time period is, they really invest themselves in tying up loose ends, finishing unfinished business, connecting with people. And it's almost to the point where this becomes a bit of an antidepressant, because now they're connected to meaning. They've got direction. They've got purpose for their next few days. And this is why we call this meaning, right? When we talk about the importance of meaning in your everyday life. And so that's likely what happened in this scenario. And so when people look back in this scenario, they're thinking, well, how could I have possibly known? He seems so upbeat. He seems so put together. And what I would say to that is, when there's a stark shift in how a person is presenting or how their vibe seems, anything that's very different to the norm needs to be checked in about. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to know unless we begin a conversation. And it all comes back to that. We're sitting here on the sidelines watching things, marveling of, how they got their life together, when in reality, it's such a stark shift that something was being flagged and that something needed to be followed up on to talk about it. And the thing is we can't be expected to know all of this if we haven't been taught all of this. So what I want to do is really want to stress to you that if there's somebody in your life who's had a sudden shift in their personality or in their vibe or the way that they carry themselves, check in about it, bring it up, have a conversation, ask about it, be curious, right? Because you may miss a chance that was really crucial. And you don't have to put suicide right on the table straight off the bat, but ask them, hey, I've noticed that there's a shift. What's been happening for you? And be open in a way that's, you don't have to assume it's a good thing, right? Be open, be concerned. And when they sense this concern and this openness to really hearing their story, the hope is that they will share. Okay, folks, till next time.